Question everything. That was the philosophy behind the Heretic Labs Article 1. What if we dropped all our preconceived notions of what an airsoft gun should be and reimagined it as a purpose-driven platform built for the modern competitive speedsoft player? We started with a full billet machine CNC receiver set from the Wolverine Airsoft MTW, and then skeletonized it, removed everything that adds weight like the stock, the rail, charging handle, and added a carbon fiber outer barrel, custom electronics, and trigger. The result is an HPA speedsoft pistol that takes M4 magazines and weighs barely over 2 pounds. Using the MTW spec receiver results in a platform that is incredibly robust, features intrinsic alignment for maximum accuracy, and is simple to service and has nearly limitless customization options. Offering a 65% weight savings, the genuine carbon fiber outer barrel is as functional as it is beautiful. Inside the gun, the patented Gen 2 Inferno hybrid design offers unmatched simplicity and consistency with no first-round dry fire and industry-leading efficiency. The FCU features a tactile trigger switch and optimized trigger algorithms for maximum trigger feel and response, and multiple fire modes, including a new binary set. And the Article 1 comes pre-upgraded with the new Heretic Labs speed trigger with integrated solid bearing design for incredible feel and response. The Heretic Labs Article 1 will be shipping very soon in 3 beautiful color anodized options. The standard midnight black, along with limited runs of the amethyst purple and torch orange. So be sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of the exciting products from Heretic Labs. These will be on sale both on our website, hereticlabsairsoft.com, and at your local dealer. So be sure to contact them to be one of the first to get a new Article 1 from Heretic Labs. The Heretic Labs drop stock adapter is another exciting new product we will be offering. Made in the USA with full CNC aluminum construction and anodized finish, this drop stock is lightweight, durable, and beautiful. An innovative, swappable buffer tube base allows it to be used with either a traditional AEG body or any MTW spec platform, including the Heretic Labs Article series and any forged billet or 9mm MTW. The drop stock will be available in midnight black with the initial Heretic Labs release. So be sure to like, follow, and share to get all the upcoming announcements on release dates, as well as all the other exciting product releases coming soon. The Heretic Labs speed trigger for MTW offers next-level feel and adjustability for any MTW spec platform and comes pre-installed on all Heretic Labs Article Series guns. The innovative design includes full CNC aluminum construction on the trigger with an integrated Delrin solid bearing design, paired with a 50% lighter spring resulting in incredibly smooth action. In addition, the novel integral retaining clip allows easier installation while dramatically reducing friction. The result is a short, smooth pull with a crisp tactile feel. For advanced users, we've included support for optional 3-way travel adjustment to allow tuning to true hair trigger travel. The Heretic Labs speed trigger for MTW will be available in Midnight Black with the initial Heretic Labs release, with other colors to follow. So be sure to like, follow, and share to get all the upcoming announcements on release dates, as well as all the other exciting product releases coming soon.
What is up, guys? It is a Thursday afternoon. We are doing live from the den. Go ahead and hop on, give it a like, give it a share, give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever makes you happy, and we will get it going here. Go ahead and start posting up those questions. I'll get my chat pulled up here. We have a special guest today. Let's see if we can get him on here. Hey, look at that. Technology worked. It's amazing. How are we doing today, Linus?
What's up? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you, man.
So, those of you that don't know him, Linus is owner, founder of Blackleaf Airsoft. Why don't you give yourself a little more introduction than that, Linus?
Like you said, my name is Linus from Blackleaf Airsoft from Switzerland. I started the business like 5 years ago, mainly coming from the hobby playing airsoft. Had some ideas for electronics regarding HPA stuff. So, and the rest is history, so to say.
Yeah, so we probably met about 5 years ago. Am I?
That's true. IWA.
Yeah. So when we were looking to do a sort of speed soft variant of the Inferno Gen 2 engine, went to Linus and let's see whether this works. So I'm gonna try to switch this over here. Oh, whoa, we got 3 images now. I don't know whether this will work. But worked with Linus on designing an updated version of his existing sort of V2 gearbox speed board, and our main requirement on that was some reinforcement on the trigger switch. So what this does, one of the limiting factors on sort of the tactile type switches has always been they don't have over travel. So if you pull the trigger too hard, breaks the switch. Bad things happen.
Was one of the main problems, yeah. Like ripping off the switch, so we came up.
Yeah, so we worked together, kicked a few different ideas around, and this is where we ended up with this little sort of soldered on fin that sits right behind the switch and provides some additional reinforcement to keep it from breaking off. So pretty happy with that. And these are getting ready. I'm gonna hop out of this. Ooh, wrong button. There we go. Getting ready to release these if we haven't already. I don't think we've released them for sale yet, have we? No. Okay, so those are going to be on sale June 16th. I don't know whether you knew that, Linus. Did we given you a date yet? Okay, well, there you go. So we're building these now. These are the engines. Sorry, too many cameras. Full blackout version of the Gen 2 Inferno engine with some different Heretic Labs engraving on there. And then it comes with the premium electronics with the Blackleaf speedboard by default.
So will the final version will it be white?
It is white.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah. Let's see what questions we got. Good evening. When does the grip come out? We'll get to that in a few minutes. When does the tank grip come out? Okay. People know what they want. So you saw the tank grip at IWA, right? Yes, you. I'm talking to you. What did you think?
Yeah. Chance to put my hands on it. It's definitely a nice product.
Yeah, I don't actually have one here today. But yeah, I don't have one here today, but do have an update on that for you guys. It will also be released on the 16th. So tank grip with regulator, comes with a Cat 5 regulator, that whole package. We're currently building both the Heretic Labs Gen 2 Inferno and the Heretic Labs Tank Grip. Building some stock, and they're going to be, main holdup on those is we're just waiting on packaging right now. But if our fancy packaging doesn't show up by the 16th, we do have a backup plan, so we can go ahead and move forward. But the fancy packaging we ordered has taken a little longer to get in than anticipated. So excited to get both of those out to you guys. KP, what is up? Haven't heard from you in forever, man. Let's see. Howard from the UK, 6 games. Oh! Well, look at that. I do have a tank grip. How about that? There you go. So these are we're building out a batch of these, getting them ready for shipment, and it'll come again. We're going to release it as the whole stock with the regulator and all. So whole grip with the regulator and all in one package there. So I guess I shouldn't pull the trigger because I don't know if it's live. Set that thing down. It can sit there and look pretty in the background. Oh man, so let's see. Any more questions? 6 games in with the MTW billet, faultless from day one, epic. Awesome. Let's see. KP says nothing much, just been busy with work. Still the same job? You moved on to something different since then. I haven't talked to you in forever. Speed QB, when does the grip come out? 16th of June. We're releasing both the grip and the Heretic Labs Inferno Gen 2. So, Linus, why don't you tell us a little bit more about some of the... I know you have a variety of different both products you offer as well as services you provide, right? Because you have sort of... we've talked about this. You guys have sort of the HPA side, but you also have an AEG tuning side, correct?
Yeah, since almost 2 years. I got a friend in the company. He's more like G side. I'm more focused on HPA.
Okay.
We have normal web store, running custom stuff like Cerakoting, laser engraving, all the good stuff. So we make the dreams come true.
Awesome. And you're
yeah.
And you also work in the 3D printing field as well, correct?
Yeah, Airsoft is just more like a side business. I have a normal 9-to-5 job and I'm working in the 3D printing industry. So I got access to all
All the
the
fun
fancy
toys.
stuff,
You guys,
all
you
the
guys
fun
do any metal
toys.
3D printing?
Not yet. We have a machine that's capable of printing like the
Mm-hmm.
composite stuff, but this needs to be further processed to get a final metal.
Nice.
So yeah. Why don't you tell them about the electromechanical safety
Oh,
feature we have
very
with the
good.
new board? I
Thanks.
think
Since
that's one I get asked a lot, or there is some
yeah,
misunderstanding why the board isn't working when you don't have your safety lever installed in the gearbox. And
let me switch over here real quick to the other view.
oh, and there is no audio just on that one.
Well, we'll have to keep both of them up then. I was trying to make it bigger for everybody, but okay. So you want to explain the details of how this works, since you're the mastermind behind it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, since we have a really short travel for the trigger, we won't be able to have the mechanical safety how it normally works in the V2 gearbox. So we added that switch there at the bottom, and that one needs to be pressed in by the safety lever to be able to fire. So, as we all know, when the gun is in safe, the safety level will move up, and I'd say don't make
Right.
contact anymore with that switch. So the trigger won't work no matter how short the
Right.
trigger
So it's
pull is.
another switch in series with the trigger switch, so that if the safety lever doesn't push on this switch, then the trigger switch doesn't work. So it basically adds an electrical safety to the existing mechanical safety, because a lot of times you're with a travel as short as this, your safety is not going to necessarily work. And it also allows you to more fine tune the trigger travel, right? Because that's one of the limiting things with adjusting the trigger travel. With the way the mechanical safety on an AEG works, is you get to a certain point where your safety just does nothing anymore, regardless of what switch type you're using.
Yeah, or if you add material, it
Yes.
will get stuck even if you
Yes.
engage the safety. So
So this lets you
again,
adjust your trigger travel shorter while still having a functional safety. Yeah.
exactly.
Good stuff. Alrighty. Utzinger says, "Nice water bottle, Linus." I didn't even catch the water bottle. What's the water bottle?
So that's the
Oh,
beer of the day. You
we
don't
were
have
out
one?
of beer at this facility. I'm waiting on somebody to run me one over from the other facility. So, he's bringing over a couple other things to talk about as well. So he'll be over here with beer in a few minutes. What are you drinking today?
So we having a lager, Quillfish. It's my
Awesome.
go-to beer for
Brandon
the
says,
evening.
"Hi, Rich. How's it going, Brandon?" When we get a CNC grip for the Heretic, CNC grip, you're just saying like a generic M4 CNC grip? There are lots of those on the market if you want one. I don't think we're going to. I don't think we're going to make one. If you're talking about a tank grip, a CNC tank grip, I don't personally prefer that, because it's going to be very expensive to manufacture, and I don't think the cost benefit is there for you guys in my assessment. I understand why people like them. Not dissing any other product. Different products are good for the market. That's all. That's all good. But from my standpoint, the injection molded grip, and that's what real steel AR grips are injection molded out of very similar materials to what we're using on ours. So I think it's durable enough the way it is. I don't think from a strength or durability standpoint the CNC aluminum is necessary. And so why make it more expensive if I don't have to? So that's my thought process in doing it. So I kind of doubt it, but never say never. Let's see. Ooh, something else you.
Dion wants us to collaborate on an MTW.
Yeah. Any thoughts on custom stuff you want to do for MTW?
Some ideas, but
Yeah.
we can talk about it
Okay.
next month.
Okay. So I'm gonna show you guys something else new. Switch over here. Juan asked, has the Torched Orange Heretic Labs Article 1 been retired? The answer is, at least for the time being, we don't have plans to make another batch of orange. They are still, you're still going to be able to find them at dealers for a while, but we've sold all of them to dealers, as far as I'm aware. Maybe another one or two will pop up on our website at some point, but I wouldn't count on it. I'm pretty sure we've shipped them all to dealers. So if you want one of those orange ones, which do look really good, go ahead and get one up. And that was kind of intentional, because those of you that have been around with the company for a long time know that orange was sort of our original product color with the SMP, 10 years ago now. So with the first batch of Heretic Labs, we wanted to throw orange in there. So first two batches had orange. Third batch is in production right now, finishing up the machining, and we have removed orange, but we are the torch orange, but we are adding what we're calling the Quicksilver color. So this is sort of a this is a clear coat anodized. So it's a media blasted finish with a clear coat anodized over top of it. So it's the aluminum color, just with sort of it's an interesting finish. It's like all the others, right? It's kind of matte and glossy at the same time, depending on what angle you look at it, just because of the texture. Like what angle the light comes at it either looks really matte, or it can look a little bit sort of almost like a little bit of a metallic flake kind of characteristic, where it's a little bit you get that sort of point reflection coming off of it. But looks really sharp. Ignore this will be the same finish on here. That's just a machine finish at the moment. So that will be the Quicksilver color that will be available with batch 3 of the Heretic Labs Article 1. I don't think I've shown you this color yet, have I?
Nope.
Yeah, I really like it. It's kind of like a space gun. They all do look like space guns. Maybe that's why people like them so much. Okay, let's see. Dion, what's up, man? Doggy Dogger says, are you going to talk about the possible airsoft ban? Okay, so I have this on my list for today. Sorry, Linus, this is not relevant to you in Switzerland right at the moment, but people in the U.S.
Not really. I heard about
people in the U.S. Everybody's talking about this. The regulation is docket number CPSC 2023-0021. So I've spent a decent bit of time trying to read up on this and research it as best I can, read some of the ASTM standards and all that are relevant here. I don't think people should be panicking. Multiple of the ASTM standards that are referenced specifically exclude airsoft from some of these rules. It seems like it's more targeted at other things. It seems the most likely outcome is that there is some standardization and possible additional requirements for product markings and things like that. Oh, they come bearing gifts. Awesome. Yo, holy cow. That's 20 ounces of 8.2. Okay.
Get your torpedo.
Oh, sorry. There we go. All right, we'll see how it is. I've not had this. That said, the major problem with this is that they're fast tracking these regulations, and they have basically not talked to anybody in the industry about what the actual implications of it are going to be for the industry. And that's not good. Regardless of whether it's very minor changes or major changes, you shouldn't be making changes in the laws on an accelerated schedule like this without talking to anybody in the industry and making sure that you're not unintentionally screwing something up. Because the government is really good, even when they're not trying to screw things up, at unintentionally screwing things up. And, doing things in a way that maybe they weren't even trying specifically to hurt the industry, but because they changed the rules, now there's millions of dollars of product trying to get imported that don't comply, but they were already on a ship before the rules changed and nobody knew, so now you can't import them and you can't do anything. So there's lots of ways you can screw up, even if it's not actually malicious. So I do think that you should, there's form letters out there that you can look up that I would suggest filling out and trying to get them to push back implementing something like this until we can better understand what the implications are. So please go and do that. But also, I wouldn't panic too much. Like I said, the most likely outcome seems to be that there will be some additional certification or markings required on the products, so I don't think it's the end of airsoft. But it may cause a major disruption in the short term. So, here we go. We'll see how it is. Ooh. Well done. I'm impressed, Sierra Nevada. That's better than normal. I'm not normally a huge Sierra Nevada fan, but that's actually quite tasty. I can drink that. Definitely West Coast IPA. All right, so that was, again, docket number CPSC-2023-0021. Look it up. Find one of the form letters. Please do post a comment. Be polite. It's not going to do any good with the government to be insulting or crass or anything else. Just politely state that you were opposed to this and the negative impact it could have on the industry. And ask them to consult with those in the industry before implementing any changes. All right, let's see. What's up? Greets from Germany. How far behind am I? Oh, I'm a little bit behind. Let's see how far. 100 viewers for only 50 cents each. Thank you so much for the offer. Silly Billy says, I picked one of these up in my hand at a site the other day. Are you talking about the Article 1s? Yeah, they're super light. They literally weigh just over 2 pounds. It's pretty fun. And how's it going? I don't think we've met in person, but I have seen your stuff. So glad to have you on the stream today. It's the Nintendo Blaster collab. I don't know what we're talking about now, but whatever. Let's see. You got into any games recently, Linus?
I don't have time to go play airsoft, sadly.
I was supposed to go to one. I was supposed to go to one this month, but something else came up, and I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. So, see, I make it a point. I mean, I'm fairly busy myself, but I make it a point to get to about 2 or 3 games a year and just play and sort of stay in it and not get too. I don't want to get too sort of burnt out and detached from the actual playing side because, I still lead the product design and want to keep that sort of inspiration and motivation going to innovate and keep improving and not get bogged down with the fact that it is a job.
Yeah, with family and business, I'm happy when I get to play once every other month. So
hey, I mean, you're getting out there some. That's something. it's really easy to just end up, and I know this is crazy for those of you that are listening and are like just players, but like it is really, it's, you know, you take a hobby and you turn it into a job, right? And there was a period of time where like I almost couldn't play. Like it just, there was so much, when we were in like hardcore startup mode and I was working, you know, 90 hours a week, it didn't matter whether I could get to a game. Like just mentally, I didn't want to be out on the field. Like I had no desire to do it because I was so burnt out, and there was so much stress tied up with the whole thing as far as like trying to run the business and get a new business off the ground, that like it was really, really hard to actually get out there and play. So try to mitigate that and try to just get out there. And I split up now. I either go to an event to meet people and demo product and just you know, be there in a company function, or I just go to play by myself. But I don't do both. Like if I'm going there to like as the company, I almost never play. It's some rare exceptions, but almost never do I end up playing. If I want to play, I don't tell anybody I'm going, and I go and I play by myself, or better yet, play with a bunch of friends. But don't tell anybody I'm there in a company function.
Yeah, being an airsoft tech, people know about, and you go to an airsoft site, you end up fixing all the guns than playing the game.
Yep.
So.
And I don't, and it's not that I mind, like I'm happy to be there and fix guns for people. I mean, whether it's our products or anybody else's. I mean, I've fixed plenty of my competitors' products for people that just, you know, were sitting there in the AO and couldn't do it, or in the you know, off the field and couldn't play because their gun was down. And like, you know, we're here to help you have a good time. Like whether you're using my product or not, if I can help you out, that, you know, like I'm happy to do that. But that's different than showing up and playing yourself. Like it's just a different headspace to be in. Let's see. Don't go machining anything after finishing the tall. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't actually get to do much machining these days. That sounds crazy. Because like, again, a lot of you may not know this, but like how we got into machining was basically our suppliers crapped out on us and stole a bunch of money from us and other stuff like that. That was very bad. When we were trying to machine the MTW receivers. And so I bought a mill having no idea how to run a mill, you know, having no like experience with it, and had somebody help me program the initial fixtures and all that kind of stuff. And then started learning how to run it. But at this point, like we have a whole, we have a whole functioning machine shop with a team of guys that do almost all of the programming and running of the machines and all. So I don't actually get to run machines much. I sort of learned how to do it and trained them on how to do it, and now they're, you know, in most cases as good as I am at doing stuff. They bounce ideas off me sometimes to help, you know, improve the programs and stuff, but I don't actually get to do much machining these days. Bets on Rich finishing his beer before end of stream and needing to be driven home. I think I'll do all right. I can hold my liquor. Juan says he's putting $5 on it. Man. Oh goodness. Silly Gilly says you can give me your thoughts on this, Linus, because I'm curious. Have you had any more thoughts on an all-in-one sniper like the MTW? You give me your thoughts on that concept first, and then I'll give you mine.
So actually, if you look at the MTW, where you have the alignment while sliding in the system like a bolt, I would say if you take the VSR-10 and slide in the bolt, what more will or can you improve on that one?
So there are things I can improve. Right, I mean, if you're talking an MTW type system, you could have a whole stock system that integrates not just the engine and gets the alignment correct and all that, but also your onboard air supply systems, right? So it could be a platform that accepts CO2 stocks or HPA stocks or whatever else, all integrated into the same platform. So here I've got two holdups on this, and maybe you guys can talk me out of them, but because I've looked at this extensively and done some design work on it, and there's some cool things you can do, but there's two things that hold me up. One, really, well, I'll just say there's one primary one that gets me stuck on this, and that's that while there are still distinct performance advantages to running an HPA sniper versus a bolt action sniper, they are not as dramatic as going from an AEG to HPA, right? In terms of the performance and reliability, the advantages are not as dramatically different going from bolt action to HPA. And beyond that, one of the things I've heard a lot from people in the sort of airsoft sniping community is that one of the main reasons they like it is the simplicity, right? That they just don't have to mess with anything. They don't have to mess with batteries. They don't have to mess with they don't have to mess with air. They just pick up the gun and it has they power it with their their biceps, and that's what they do. So I'm not sure. I guess I'd need more market research is really what it comes down to. The other one that's tricky is, though with some of the newer products like Silverback and all that kind of stuff, they've helped with this, but airsoft snipers are funny, or like that section of the market is funny in that people spend tons of money on it aftermarket, right? I haven't built one recently, but 10-15 years ago, when last time I built one, if you wanted a good spring bolt action setup, you were going to end up spending $700 to $1,000 on it, right? With all the aftermarket parts, improved hop drop, improved barrel, a zero trigger, yada 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 yada, right? And you're going to end up spending a ton of money on it. But the base guns themselves have always been super cheap. So as a U.S. manufacturer, we can't we can't make money selling a $200 or $250 HPA bolt action gun, right? We just can't do it. That's not even if we got stocks made overseas or whatever to reduce some costs, it's just not feasible. We wouldn't be able to do that. So I feel like people might, even though they end up paying that much anyway, I feel like people might just be, turned off from buying an out of the box, $500 or $600 HPA bolt action gun that's built and ready to go. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that? You have any thoughts on that, Linus, or anybody else in the comments?
I'm not really into
sniping.
But you still should make me one of these Benelli semi-automatic shotguns. That's
goodness.
all I'm asking.
One day. Let's see. I don't know whether I got any responses on that. I did. I scrolled down here. Silly Gilly says, the sniper market has changed more towards out of the box in the last 3 years. Nowadays, you can't get much more performance with upgrades. Well, maybe that's a I mean, maybe there's a market there for it, and I'm just hung up on things that used to be. It's definitely a possibility. Like, it's something we can do. Like, there's no question that it's something we can do. The question is, one, what's the priority versus lots of other things that are in the works, and two, how big a market is it? Is it enough to really just because, again, we're a U.S. based manufacturer. Like, we develop our products in the U.S. All of the engineering, the design, the testing, all of that happens right here in Kingsport, Tennessee. So it's not like I can ship it off to somebody overseas and they pay their engineers $5 an hour and it's not a big deal. So short or straight pull bolt and something lefty friendly would be kind of nice for a Wolverine sniper. Let's see. Are there going to be articles? Are there going to be articles with grips pre-installed and with the regulator? I will say I'm not allowed to say anything specific, but I think that if you just look at how we've structured the brand and telling you that there are going to be multiple articles at some point in the future, the likelihood that we at some point do a article whatever number that includes a integrated reg grip and all is pretty high. That's all I'm going to say there. I'm not promising when. People have been buying up the article ones like hotcakes, so we're building as many of those as we possibly can, and stuff takes time. But sure, just like a lot of other things we're working on, there's a pretty good chance that at some point in the future that'll be a thing. Let's see. I have two questions about mags, and I'm going to try to answer them both at the same time. I have been spending a tremendous amount of time on mags. Some of you know, we released a beta testing group of mags. I've talked about this in the past. I think it was last episode. Got some feedback on that we needed to fix some things, and that is taking some time to work through. I'm spending a lot of my time actually on this project right now. It's challenging because this is our first major completely OEM project where we're just buying the mags from somebody. We're not assembling them ourselves, and getting that right is really tricky. And I want to take my time on it and not push it. In terms of the question about getting mags, like aftermarket mags in the UK, we have temporarily we have temporarily put out of stock. They're not discontinued. Just put out of stock standalone magazines because the delay in the PTS mags, while we're making some improvements to them, means that we are very, very low on inventory of mags total, and we are just trying to squeak by until that is ready for release. So I am doing everything I possibly can to accelerate that. I can't tell you more than that, but like, I have spent a tremendous amount of time working through the feedback we got from our testing group, working with PTS to implement changes to some different parts to mitigate some of the different types of issues people pointed out and improve the overall product going forward. So I'm not going to promise a timeline because I don't know a timeline, but I promise you I am getting to it as fast as I possibly can. It is a high stress thing for me, and it is my top priority in terms of our engineering work right now. Mark says he can't wait to check out the Article 1 Bad Agency has there in Germany. Tell the guys from Bad Agency I said hello when you go check it out. Let's see. Daniel says, Blackleaf Airsoft, thanks for supporting us this year on the Airsoft convention. Not sure who that is, but I assume you know.
Well, thank you, Indy. We're happy to be there.
Okay, so I screwed up. I screwed up last live from the den, and I told you we had adjusted pricing on the Inferno when we actually hadn't adjusted it yet. So my people got to scramble and try to fix that as quickly as possible. Again, that is actually implemented now per the notes that I was given right here. So you know we can hope they're accurate. But we have adjusted the pricing on that again with the supply chain stabilizing and some of our costs coming down now that everything is not twice the price it was. We've been able to pass some of that back on to you guys and bring the prices back down to about where they were pre-COVID stupidity. Couple other product things real quick. I'm gonna go through here. Up until now, we've had 2 different sling plate designs on the billet and on the forged. One is a QD sling plate. One is it's not a sling plate. It's just a buffer tube plate. We are gradually going to be switching over to just a single simple ambidextrous D plate for everything. When you will see that show up at your dealer will depend on a whole bunch of variables, but everything's going. So we're going to be going to a single design for everything. Just simplifies it for the user, and honestly, sling plates are just kind of a preference thing, regardless of what you do. You can replace it with whatever real steel sling plate you want to put on there. You want to switch it over to a QD sling plate, you can do that. You want to do the mag pull, I call that the one that with the loop on it, rapid, or what do they call that thing? You know the one I'm talking about? Can't remember.
Know which one you mean, but I don't
anyway,
know the name.
Any real steel sling plate will go on there. So this makes it just so that you have something easy, ambidextrous, and some people seem to like the QD sling plate, some don't, because having the attachment point there bothers them. So we're just going to a simple double sort of loop ambidextrous sling plate on everything. Eventually, it's going to come out first on the forged, and eventually the billet will switch over to that as well. It's a minor change. It'll just get rolled out as we use up inventory and switch over. Okay, so we made an announcement yesterday. We haven't even talked about that. There's another question. Any future plans maybe for a bolt-action sniper rifle with a modular system similar to the MTW line? So apparently there's at least a few people that want it. Let's see. Still need an M2 249 Inferno. Rich. Wait, you mean a MTW support weapon? What are we talking? Ambi bolt releases for everyone. Thanks for release on mag. Yeah, there are a couple people have been very helpful on the mag testing in particular. So thank you to those that have been interacting with us, and we've sent some different parts, gotten some testing feedback from them. So that is very helpful to us. So announcement that we didn't even talk about yet today is we are going to be releasing the airstock version of the Wraith X. Okay, so the Wraith X, I want to try to use my favorite word here, disambiguate, because it's the opposite of what it means. It's a confusing word that means I'm going to make it not confusing. Anyway, I'm going to try to disambiguate the product lines here. Wraith X is the complete product line. It's a single system that lets you easily swap between 33 gram CO2, 12 gram CO2, 13 cubic inch tanks, whatever you want. But we're going to be selling a variety of different packages depending on what you want. So what we have been selling up till now is the Wraith X CO2 version, which comes with like this. I don't want to fully assemble it, but something like that. Right, that's actually not correct. That has to go in further. Anyway, Sorry, doing this on the fly. It comes like this, and it has your CO2 system, and it has your buffer tube and your regulator that goes on the front. And this lets you run either 12 gram or 33 grams CO2 very easily. What we just are announcing is we're going to be adding 2 new SKUs, which is this stock by itself. For those of you that already have this system and want to also be able to run 13 cubic inch tanks, all you do is remove this portion, which is the CO2 portion, and then your 13 cubic inch tank can screw in right there and run like that. Right? The other thing we're releasing is this complete package, right? For those of you that don't yet have the CO2 version and want to just run, you don't really want to run CO2, you just want to run air, you can get the regulator and the tank stock. Tanks are sold separately, but we're releasing those 2 different SKUs. So we're going to have the CO2 version, the HPA only version, and then the stock only SKU, which is just the stock for those of you that want to swap over from CO2 to HPA. So hopefully that made it a little more clear. Those of you that haven't seen the stock yet, these are super nice. They work with standard 13 cubic inch tanks or these carbon fiber 4,500 cubic inch tanks in either the 15 cubic inch or the 13 cubic inch. And they attach very simply. You just use this little wheel here, and it tightens down on the tank. Don't require any extra stuff or sticky things that go on the back of the tank or anything like that. It just latches onto the tank, and you can run from there. So, good stuff there. Excited to finally get those out, and you will be hearing more details on that coming soon. Shoo, where are we on time-wise? Oh, holy cow, we're 45 minutes in. Elon says, I'm assuming, I don't know what he's talking about, says super niche market, won't sell too many for the amount you'd have to invest. You're talking about support weapon, or are you talking about bolt action? Don't need a sniper when you can get an MTW 2.9 joules with 4.5. I mean, there is that. I have become disambiguated, but now I am discombobulated. Fair enough. How many shots is the tank version? In general, on a 3000 tank, you're going to get somewhere around 1,000 shots. It can be less than that. It can be more than that. It mostly depends on your barrel length and whether you actually have your dwell set correctly. The vast majority of you, ironically, in my experience, do not have your dwell set correctly. And so you're using more air than you have to. If you're using a big tank, that's fine. Doesn't really matter. Like, whatever. The gun's going to work fine either way. But if you're trying to run small tanks, getting the dwell really tuned in and or running a longer barrel will get you substantially more shots. And the energy you're running, right? I mean, are you running 1 joule or are you running 1.9 joules? There's a lot of difference in air usage. But our rule of thumb is it's somewhere around 1,000. Almost always, like virtually every proper setup I've seen is somewhere between like 700 and 1,300. I've seen anywhere in that range, but generally it's somewhere right around 1,000. Elon thinks the bolt action market is way smaller than the support weapon market. I'm not sure I agree with you on that. There's a lot of bolt action guys out there. I don't know. David says, too bad it's not a 308 MTW. Someday? Question mark? Someday? Question mark? Many things, many things. Let's see. Are there going to be adjustable drop stocks for article? Fixed drop stocks or are a big no-no? Well, not sure why fixed drop stocks are a big no-no. The vast majority of drop stocks are fixed. But I don't have any plans for an adjustable drop stock. All right. Well, guys, we have gone long today already. Let's see. Reply to the cast. All right. Let me go run through my any final words you want to say, Linus?
No, I'm fine.
Let's see. I think I got through all my. Oh, we'll leave. We'll talk about gauges another day. And I'm gonna just leave you guys with. Oh, I thought it was here. Did they move it? I don't see it. Never mind. I was going to show you guys something else, but apparently it isn't here anymore. So we're going to wrap up. We've run a little longer than normal already today. Thanks, Linus, for being on. And it's been, those of you that don't follow his page or any of his work, you should go do it. Linus has come up with a number of fun different little sort of custom products over the years, fitting different niches both in the Speed QB market and outside of it. So be sure to check him out for all of those needs. So I think that's it, guys. We're gonna call it, and we'll try to get on sometime next month. We got our tech class and party. Linus is gonna be over here for that next month. So try to get it in sometime next month. But thanks for hopping on today, guys. Tell your friends. Thursday afternoons, some Thursday of the month. We don't know when. We'll tell you when it's happening. This is the place to be. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you out on the field.
Thank you.